Alright guys, how are you? I hope you are doing extremely well. So today we will talk about so let's get started. Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron is a 2002 American animated adventure film produced by DreamWorks Animation and distributed by DreamWorks Pictures. The film was directed by Kel Asbury and Lorna Cook in their directorial debuts and written by John Fusco. Spirit, voiced by Matt Damon through inner dialogue. In contrast, the way the animals are portrayed in the style in other animated features, Spirit and his fellow horses communicate with each other through sounds and body language like real horses. The film opens with an eagle flying through various locations in the American West. As the proper story begins, a young Cougar Mustang colt, Spirit, is born to a herd of wild horses. Spirit soon grows into a stallion and assumes the role of leader of the herd, whose duty is to keep the herd safe. Spirit is a courageous leader but has great curiosity. One night, upon spotting a strange light near his herd, the stallion decides to investigate the location, where he finds restrained docile horses and their human wranglers sleeping around a campfire. They wake up and, seeing him as a magnificent specimen, chase and capture him, taking him to a US cavalry post. At this time, the US Army is fighting the Indian Wars and taking over the soon-to-be Western United States. Frightened and confused, Spirit finds himself enslaved among other horses. Then he encounters the colonel who decides to have the Mustang tamed, refusing to believe the idea of Spirit being too stubborn. But Spirit manages to fight off all attempts to tame him. To weaken Spirit, the colonel ordered him to tie to a post for 3 days with no food or water. Meanwhile, a Lakota Native American named Little Creek is also brought into a fort and held captive. Spirit is later supposedly broken in by the colonel, who speaks his idea of how any wild horses can be tamed. However, Spirit gets a second wind and finally throws him off. Frustrated, the colonel attempts to shoot him before Little Creek, who frees him from his bound with a knife, saves Spirit, and being shot as they along with the rest of the horses escape from the post. Little Creek's mare, Rain, meets them along with other natives who catch up Spirit again. After returning to the Lakota village, Little Creek tries to tame Spirit with kindness, but Spirit refuses to be ridden. Little Creek ties Spirit and Rain together, hoping that she will teach him a thing or two. When Spirit tries to leave, she insists on staying, then shows him her world. Spirit begins to warm up to Little Creek and falls in love with Rain. At the end of their time together, Little Creek tries to ride him again, but Spirit is still unwilling. Then he decides that Spirit will never be tamed and frees him. As Spirit asks Rain to come with him to his herd, a cavalry regiment led by the major attacks the village and Rain runs off to find Little Creek. During the vicious battle, the major tries to shoot Little Creek, but Spirit runs into the major and his horse, deflecting the shot and saving Little Creek's life. However, Rain is shot by the major, knocking her down into the river. Spirit dives into the river to try to rescue, but it is unsuccessful and they both plummet over a waterfall. Spirit finds Rain dying from her injuries and stays by her side until the army captures him. Watching Spirit being pulled away, Little Creek arrives, vowing to free him to satisfy his life debt, and follows the men after tending to Rain. Spirit is loaded onto a train and taken to a work site on the Transcontinental Railroad, where he is put to work pulling a steam locomotive. Realizing that the track will infringe on his homeland, Spirit breaks free from the sledge and breaks the chains holding the other horses. They escape and the locomotive fails off in the wooden sledge and slows down the hill. chasing Spirit back to work site. The locomotive demolishes 2 wooden storage sheds and then slams into another locomotive, causing a massive explosion that sets the forest ablaze. Spirit attempts to escape the fire, but is trapped when the chain around his neck snags on a fallen tree. Little Creek appears in that time and saves Spirit, and together they jumped into a river to escape the flame. The next morning, Major and his men find Spirit and the Little Creek. Spirit allows Little Creek to ride him and a chase ensues through the Grand Canyon. Eventually they are trapped by a gorge. Little Creek gives up, but Spirit manages to successfully leap across the canyon. Spirit moves amaze the Major. He humbly accepts defeat, stops his men from shooting the troop, and allows Spirit and Little Creek to leave. Spirit returns to the rebuilt Lakota village with Little Creek and finds Rain nursed back to health. Little Creek decides to name the Spirit be broken and sets him to Rain free. After saying goodbye to Little Creek, the 2 horses return to the Spirit's homeland and eventually find Spirit's herd, where he joyfully reunites with his mother. The eagle from the beginning reappears and flies upwards into the horse-shaped clouds. So, how you like this movie? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are not yet already subscribed. Till then, stay home and stay safe. I will come in the next video. Bye guys.